Greetings, hi Lord Gopher, and greetings to the world. Your question, is it cactus versus, or cactuses versus cacti? A very interesting question you posed during your playthrough of New Vegas. And the answer to that question is quite simply, it's both. It's whatever you want it to be. Technically speaking, it is a Latin word, although it originally came from ancient Greek, a word kaktos, which means cardoon. And for those of you who don't know what a cardoon is, it's a sort of a shrub, or it's shrubbery, weeds that grow in the Mediterranean area. That's what a cardoon is, a plant that grows sort of an arid environment growing plant in the Mediterranean, a cardoon. Cactus was then borrowed into Latin, became cactus. And the point I'm trying to make is that any language will adopt a plural form that's best suited to it. So in most cases in English, with a few exceptions, English uses an S as a plural ending, right? I mean, there are exceptions, mouse, mice, and I could explain them, but that would take a long time. It would probably put most of you to sleep, so I'm not going to do that. And it's perfectly normal then to say cactus, cactuses. But it's also technically correct to say cacti because it's Latin, cactus, cacti. And there are other examples of this. I mean, you have words such as stimulus. I would say stimuli. I don't think many people say stimuluses because, well, it doesn't really roll off the tongue, but it's possible. Or what about a word such as data? Most people perceive the word data as being a singular, when in fact it's a plural. I would say the data are, and technically it is a plural. It comes from the Latin verb. It's what we call a past participle, so the past form, a past form of that verb. Dare, to give. So datum is the singular, and data are the things which are given, or have been given, literally. And it is a plural. But most people, I think, in the English-speaking realm would regard data as a singular. The data is as opposed to the data are. Purely a matter of, well, perspective. If you want to be technical and academic about it, then you can say the data are, and most academics would look at data as a plural. So what's correct? Well, by and large, when it comes to language, what's correct is, well, whatever the masses decided, it's correct. There are, of course, people in the ivory towers of the heavens who try to make decisions regarding these things, but they're routinely ignored. So best not to pay attention to them, I imagine. And, you know, there are countless examples of this in other languages as well as English. Another one, for example, another interesting one is kudos. Kudos is an ancient Greek word, and people understand it to be accolades, to mean accolades or praise. It in fact means honor or glory, and it's singular, although most native English speakers would perceive kudos as a plural because you have the S already attached to it. So it looks like a plural, but in fact it's a singular. What would technically be the plural form of kudos? It would be kudoi. But nobody, not even I, would say kudoi. So there you have it. I mean, and it also means honor and glory as opposed to accolade. So, you know, meanings change over time. Plural forms that are adopted into a language change as well. And so ultimately, it's up to you, the speaker, to decide what's right or wrong. I mean, let's face it, most people don't really pay attention to the nitty-gritty details of these things, which is why I give you kudos. There you go, Gopher, because that's you always raise these questions, and these are, of course, questions that have long interested me. I thought it might be helpful in that regard. Anyway, I hope that answers it. The native language usually adopts the plural form that is native to it, as opposed to the language from which it borrowed. There are exceptions, but usually it's anything goes in this regard. So keep on posing those questions, and I hope everyone enjoyed that and found that informative. Until the next time, may the gods watch over you. Bye-bye.